Alright, so welcome back. Here is episode 4 for our NeoFly career in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's see. We are currently sitting at KDUG, which I think is in Arizona. Yeah, it's in Douglas Bisbee, Arizona. And we got a lot of updates to go over. I changed things up a little bit yesterday, kind of enhanced things a little bit. And we'll go over that once we're in the air. So we're going to try to pick out a quick flight here. So we don't have anything preset, so you'll see the whole process. Alright, so we are currently sitting at KDUG. We're going to look for jobs within our ability. Alright, so we're sitting pretty much on the border of Mexico. Not sure if we can go into Mexico or not. We'll see. See if we can find a flight that'll take us there. This one seems to be right over the border. Oh no, that's... what is that? Oh, okay. That's just a, like a rush job. That's only 7 miles away. We can go, what's one of these? Or even this one. Let's go to Tucson. Alright, so KTUS, we'll go to Tucson. This is going to be a cargo mission. We're moving some computers. And it's 79 nautical miles away. And we'll get this one loaded up. So we're going to move this over. And we're going to move our nav map here. And we're going to look up KDUG. We're going to set this as our departure. And we're going to KTUS. And we're going to set this as our destination. And then we're going to click on this. So our flight path takes us this way. So we're going to try to run out of runway number 35. And we got double runways here. We're going to try runway 29R. So that gives us our entire flight plan here. We can always set a little deviation here. Let's see, any other towns? I spent a little time in Arizona, not by Tucson, no. But no, it looks like we're going to fly over this mountain range here, so that looks pretty neat. We'll see what that looks like. Colorado National Forest. So we'll leave that as is. This might be neat to look at too, but we'll might be able to see that out our window, and we'll just fly over that one as we go over. So we are going to export this flight. Oh, we still need a starting position. Where are we at here? We're looking at going at a runway number 35. So we'll pick parking lot number 1. And we'll get a cold start here. So we're going to go to Neo and flight plans KDUG to KTUST. So we got our flight plan. We can move this out of the way. We'll go back over to NeoFly. We'll accept that job. And then, yeah, so once we go into here, we'll load our flight plan that we just created. It's at night. We're gonna bump this up to the day a little bit. Get a little sunrise thing going on. We'll try that and then we'll adjust it when we're on the ground. And we got live weather. So close that. And we will go. Oh, no fuel. I gotta refuel. Alright, so we're gonna go to the hangar. We're gonna add some fuel. It's 306.
Hello, pilot. Let's see what's on the books for you today. Hey, pilot. The cargo is ready and waiting. You know what to do. Have a safe flight.
Alright, so we got our cup of coffee. We haven't planned too much for this video, so
Loading the cargo. Stand by.
I'm just gonna kind of wing it and go over. Alright, it is dark. So we're gonna adjust the time here. Get a sunrise. We're gonna do a assisted startup here. Basically turning on
Cargo is loaded. You can start your mission.
turning on the alternator, turning on the battery, turning on the avionics, turning on the avionics master switch, and then we're gonna hit some lights, turn on our navigation screen over there, and make sure the parking brake is on and do some throttle adjustments. I can do another video on all that another time. Alright, so we are we're holding the battery switch, and then we're going to check the voltages, the fuel mixture down here, make sure that the brake is set. ATC comes up now that we got power, cabin lights on up there.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
And then we'll do some throttle adjustments, get the engine warmed up, make sure that our avionics switch is on, and make sure that our flaps are up, which they already are. So right now we're just setting the RPMs to about 1,000. And then the run up is a bunch of tests and make sure that our lights are on. So we're going to remove the yoke there. We got our taxi lights on, we got our landing lights on, navigation strobe, and beacon lights on. The only thing that they don't do is they don't turn on the pitot heat. So we're going to turn that on. And we'll do our test. Contact the tower. Tell them that we're pretty much ready there. We're going to turn on our navigation. We can get rid of our checklist. I'm probably going to bring that down. I don't think I adjusted that on the flight plan, but we can do that in the air.
Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure is 133.0 squawk 2012. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
Alright, then we're going to request taxi, I think. Tucson Airport. They didn't say what runway we were going. Oh, we're just going to announce. Alright, very cool. So we're going to announce our taxi.
Kilo Delta Uniform Golf Traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is taxiing to runway 35.
Alright, so we're going to taxi to runway 35 here. We're going to adjust our view a little bit. We'll go. And it's going to be a short taxiway. We're taking taxiway taxiway C to get there. So we just got to watch out for this guy because we're going to be making a left here. So we're going to reduce or take off our parking brake. And we're going to get going here. We're going to hit the grass a little bit, but that's all right. It's a tight squeeze. All right, we'll try to keep everything all on the up and up here. Taxiway speed limit is 20. So we got a nice sunrise here in Arizona. So because we don't have to play with ATC on takeoff clearance and everything, we're just going to announce our takeoff. We're just going to run up onto the runway. And get that going. Actually, no, we'll stop right before at the threshold and do some adjustments real quick before we get going. Reduce our throttle a little bit. We're kicking up some speed for the taxiway. Alright, one more turn and then we'll be at the runway. We see the signs. Because we gotta set our altitude. We're gonna set our heading. Or no, our heading looks pretty good. Alright, we'll stop right here real quick. And we'll do some adjustments so that as soon as we take off, we'll be good. So we're going to adjust our heading just in case. I don't think we're going to use the heading set. We're just going to jump probably right into navigation mode on this flight since we're going to be right on the flight path. We don't have to spin around the airport. And we are currently sitting at 4,120 feet. We'll start with 6,700, give or take, for our altitude preset. And that is it. We are ready to go here. So let's go ahead, increase the throttle, take the brake off. We are going west.
Kilo Delta Uniform Golf Traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taking off runway 35 departure to the west.
So we'll adjust that up and we'll be on our way. Alright, so we're going to do a quick little takeoff here. Runway number 35 over at KDUG. Alright, we got full throttle. We're taking off. So with the Cessna, when you're full throttle like this on the runway, it has a tendency to pull left. So we use our rudder to keep a line to the center of the runway. 55 is the minimum takeoff speed. We're currently sitting at 75, so we're doing pretty good. We're going to see if we can get closer to that white area. I'll show you where that is in a second. But we're sitting at 90, so we're going to take off here. Slowly pull up.
Transporter, good flight.
Alright, we will turn on that, and that. Alright, so this white area here is like the safe zone to deploy our flaps. So that starts at 85, and that's where I wanted to get to. So, alright, so now we're taking off. I'm going to adjust my map on the other screen here. And we will check out the sunrise as we depart KDUG Bisbee Douglas, Arizona. Sun has not broke. Oh, there it is. Sun is breaking the horizon. Off to the right. All right, what are we looking at here? So we're going to be turning here in about 20 seconds. We'll get a notification up here. There it is. So we're going to start our turn in 1 second. And we're heading to 288. Almost due west. And from here, our next leg of the journey is 71 nautical miles. Ooh. Now I could go this whole flight without contacting them. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll get rid of ATC on this flight so that we can go over some of the updates to the career mode. So real quick, our updates are we purchased our own Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000. The G1000 is the Garmin navigation system. That's what makes that on the title there. So we purchased that. We're paying, or we paid it off, but we're depreciating it out. We also rented 2 planes, a 330. What is that called? That is a extra 330 Aviators Club, and so we're renting that out for this pilot whose name is Hurricane. And then we also got a Asobo XCub with the floats, so he can actually land on water. That's Berlin. Berlin is actually underranked to Hurricane. Hurricane is sitting at what is her? She's a second officer. He is a cadet. So they're going to build up the ranks here. Their health is sitting pretty good. So I hired these pilots. I paid daily for them, with the exception of this guy. I think she is $700 a day. And she is actually on the ground now. He's still in the air. So let's get Hurricane in the air. So we'll find a job for her. She is currently, where is she at? She's currently sitting in St. Simon's Island Airport in Georgia. So we're gonna see if we can make her way down into Northeast Florida. She started, so here, I'll pull this over. She started in Texas over at KHOB. That's where I hired her from. And then I bought the plane for her, flew the plane in, moved it over, and then she been making our way east, Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi to Alabama and then Georgia, and then we're going to see if we can make our way to Florida. So let's see what we got. That's maybe a little too far. Let's try this one. Where is this? This is KFHB. KFHB. Where is this airport? Oh no. Okay. But that is, or let's see. What's this one? Oh, nope, I'm just zooming in here. Can I zoom in? No, there's no flights there. Alright, so we'll go there. It's just under Fernandina Beach, so that's getting close to what? Jacksonville Beach is down here, Atlantic, close to Amelia Island. So, yeah, we'll accept this one and get her in the air. So we accept the job, we go to the hangar, she's already clicked, job is here, it's 33 miles away, she's got plenty of gas. We're gonna have to do some repairs, probably when that drops down into like 70 something, so we'll pay for those, and then we'll get her up in the air. So now her status is that they're loading because this is a cargo job. Or yeah, cargo deadline job, and then Berlin's currently on a cargo mission over to 2R4, and he's currently at cruise speed. So gotta manage the two pilots that we hired and the 2 planes that we're renting. So they're all costing money. So this one rents at $200 an hour for flight time, and we put a $27,000 deposit down on it. And the 330, we put a $27,000 deposit down, and this one is also $200 an hour. So nice little plane there. They're going. We're going to work our way up the ranks here and get some bigger planes going. And we're currently sitting at $263,789. So we are moving up with the money, getting the riches. Now, this isn't 100% updated, but I revamped the... it's missing one flight, it looks like. We were sitting at 258,446. So that flight that Hurricane landed at, we got paid for, and I still have to update that here. So I guess we can actually do that now. So this one was a cargo mission for Hurricane. So we're going to copy these 3 rows here. We'll paste them down. And the airport cost was that. And the rental cost was $81. And she received $885. So now $264.95. What did we miss here? If we go to finances, I think we bought some gas, maybe. We did. I just bought gas for myself. So, to buy gas for myself, we're going to go to me. We're just going to find another gas charge. This was an engine haul for $29,000. owner contribution, fuel for the Cessna. That's the one we're looking for. So we're going to copy that down. And we'll change the date. And we spent $306, $263, $789, and we balance back now. So, a real quick financial thing. We're going to check here. Do a quick fly around to see Arizona. Looking at, yeah, there's the mountains on the left. Is that the same ones? That is. So that, if we look at here, is the Sierra Vista shooting range is located over there. And it doesn't look like that has a name, but the Queen Mine Tour is also there, but that's Bisbee, Arizona. So we're cruising along. We're looking at about a 30-minute flight. That might be a little bit off. But I'm going to go over here. I'm going to move this over and update it. So currently for the day, we're pulling in a $49,000 profit. That's on 10-4. We'll do that later. All the planes are updated. Now we'll update the pilots. Alright, so moving this over here real quick. So this is our full financial statement. September and October over here. We're spreading out the depreciation for the airplane over there. So we are sitting at $482,000 profit. We took in $751,000, and everything still balances down and looks good there. Our cash balance is over here for that $263,000. And if we look at hurricanes, P&L, we got some payroll expenses. I spent $1,600 to move to move the pilot over to the current location that I bought the plane at. And Berlin's sitting at a $81,000 profit. So we're looking pretty good. I'm sitting at, I gotta add some more months to that, but for September and October, $291,000. So we got a little town coming up, and we will check that out on the map and see what we're looking at. So this over here is Apache Peak. Whoops, had the auto. Yeah, Apache Creek. And we got a couple of state parks, national parks up here. So, nice view here. There's the gunfight at the OK Corral. Very cool. So that town is Tombstone, Arizona. And that's where the gunfight at OK Corral took place. Zoom in a little more on that. Oops, wrong way. It's a nice little neighboring town there. The mountains over here. Oh, we're not actually coming up to the Apache Peak yet. So I'm guessing that is going to be more over in the distance over here. And we're going to have to increase our elevation here because we are currently sitting at what, 6,700? We're actually going to adjust our altimeter so that that's more accurate based on the current weather and air pressure. So we're currently sitting at, yeah, still 6,700. But what I'm looking at on the nav map is those mountains in the distance sit at an elevation of 7,100 feet, almost 7,200. So flying over these, we're going to have to increase our elevation. So with that, as we get ready, we can go to about, if that's 72, 8,000 should be sufficient. So we're gonna get our elevation in check in preparation of that mountain ridge over there, and that one off to the left is that Apache Peak. So the goal for the career mode that we're in day 11 right now is to do a few things. One, we're going to manage the 2 pilots and the 2 planes that we're renting. Maybe build up enough money. Probably got enough right now. No, I don't. I was going to say to actually purchase. We're going to get rid of renting them and actually purchase planes for them. And get rid of those rental charges. I'm going to do some flights around, and 1, get some experience flying. 2, so this is the Cessna 172, pretty easy to fly. I know the G1000 pretty well as far as all the buttons go, and you know, the startup procedures for turning on the alternator, the battery, the avionics system, and everything. And planes get a little more sophisticated, but the general concept is the same for the most part for these propeller ones. So this propeller is basically run almost the same way a car is. It's not a turbine engine, so some propellers are propelled by a turbine engine, so the avionics system in here is a little bit different. But you know, we're just checking the oil temperature, pressure, our fuel quantity, our RPMs, and this is our, we're currently sitting in the GPS mode following the route that we planned in the navigation screen. So we can turn this back on. Then we got, you know, all our lighting system here. This is like the standby brightness that you can adjust up and down. The avionics brightness is that, and then the pedestal lighting, which kind of useless for the navigation system here. So we do the floodlight. You can adjust this on and off for when you're flying at night. We probably don't even need it now, so we'll turn our overhead light off. Yeah, parking brake, this is our throttle, gas mixture, and then these are our flap controls, which control those flaps out there. And the gas is run in the both wings here, so you got the left wing and the right wing that fuel the plane by running gas down these bars into the engine. So that's a little quick recap. So we got our compass here, we got our speed indicator here, RPMs here, all sitting pretty good. This might start flashing, or actually it will start flashing as we descend, but since we're moving up in elevation, or actually no, we're already there. We're in altitude hold mode. Our next waypoint is 17 minutes away. Currently sitting at a direction of 288, and we can toggle through the different CDIs. I adjusted here so the wind direction is coming this way from the 356 direction at 7 knots. So I think we're going to be landing into a headwind, which is good. It's a lot easier to land in a headwind than a downwind. It keeps the plane at a slower speed and the lift up a little bit. So with that, we're going to throw that off just in case, since we are at level flight, we don't get an RPM reading here. So we can probably turn our landing lights off and our taxi lights off at this point, but we'll turn them back on as we get closer to the airport, because NeoFly will ding you if you do not use them. So that's a quick recap there. Coming up to this mountain ridge, there's Apache Peak. So very nice view. We were up in Colorado for a little bit, and oh yeah, I think that was the last episode. Yeah, the winds were tough, a little easier to fly down here in Arizona. As we go to Tucson. And the other thing with NeoFly that we have access to now is something called a home base. Let me see if I can pull it up so I can talk about it. Alright, so the home base is basically a thing that if we turn on developer mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator, then we will be able to build our own airport in here, which seems pretty neat. It's very expensive with fake money, and so we're looking at, like, yeah, I mean, standard hangar is 500,000. A large hangar is $1 million, and a little cabin is 1,000. So we'll see how much money we can bring in by hiring some pilots and everything, so that we can afford to build our home base. And then the other things that you can add on. So you got to get a hangar to store the planes, and then you put like an office in, which is like 15 grand, maintenance building, 30,000, fuel stations, parking areas, runway lights, and then you can set your runways down, whether or not it's asphalt, dirt, grass, a small runway, medium runway, large runway, or a helipad. And they can get expensive. So asphalt is $100,000 to lay one of those. And then what you can do once you have your home base built is that you can create your own jobs and have pilots fly out of them, and you can run your jobs out of there as well. So we'll probably get into doing that once we get some planes bought and money rolling in for the pilots that we hired. Maybe we'll even hire a couple other pilots to get that going a little faster. So beautiful area here. Quick peek at that mountain range. So well worth it though. So NeoFlight, first I downloaded the free version and ran that for like a week or so, just doing my own jobs. Got enough to purchase the Cessna 172, and then I spent like €10 on an upgrade for NeoFly in order to be able to hire those pilots, in order to be able to build that home base to run stuff out. So if you got any suggestions on where to locate the home base, let me know. I'm tempted to. New Mexico is a nice area. Arizona is a nice area. We can do something at the beach in Florida if you want. Gonna stay away from California. Taxes are too high. But yeah, so if you got any suggestions on where to put the home base, drop them in the comments, shoot me a message, either or, and we will we'll try to get that thing going as soon as possible. I'll hire 2 more pilots today and start renting out 2 other planes to try to make that happen. Alright, let's see how long we got going here. Alright, we're coming up to our approach area. So we're looking at the ground level right now is sitting at about 4,200 feet. So we're going to drop down to 5,200 and we're going to start our descent in just a moment here. But we got enough to start preparing for it. So we'll get back into the cockpit. And we'll get our view here as we head into Tucson, Arizona. So we're going to reduce our throttle. We're going to bring this speed down to about 85 or so. And then we're going to adjust our altitude. What did we say? 5,200? So we've made it over the ridge. 5249 is close enough. we're going to turn this on. And then we're going to adjust our meter here so that the maximum speed of our descent will start with 95 so that we don't pitch down too fast. We got time. As our speed approaches that, I'm looking at this blue dot here. That's what I'm adjusting. We're going to adjust this up to about 120 knots now. 125. And we'll leave it at that. Alright, the Santa Rita foothills are off to our left right here. So these right here are the Santa Rita foothills. And we're approaching New Tucson up there. We're sitting at 6,100, 6,000, got 800 feet to go. Normally, we get a little more flying done, a little more sightseeing, but we had some big updates to share, so hope you don't mind that. So we are drifting off course, and that's because we are no longer connected to GPS. So very interesting. Nope, we don't want that. We want to keep roll, so we're going to have to manually. We lost GPS out here. That happens. We're in the middle of the desert. We don't get a connection sometimes. So that's when you got to pay attention as a pilot and adjust your course accordingly. So we'll get back on track here. Oh, I was kind of thinking Oregon or the state of Washington might be good out towards. We got to increase our throttle before we stall here. Alright, so yeah, I was thinking Oregon or Washington out by the coast might be neat for the home base. Alright, I do believe that is the airport up here with the flashing lights. You can see that in the corner. So we're going to be flying a little bit out here and then coming back in. Or no, maybe, I'm not sure that is our airport. I think it is. Yeah, that's definitely our airport. So we are landing in, there was a right and left runway. We're looking at the right runway. So we'll get this thing. Smooth landing here. we got plenty of space before the before we need to exit the runway onto the taxiway, and plenty of parking. We'll see how detailed this airport is for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll show you the layout of the airport that I was just looking at. So here is the airport, KTUS. You got your big boy gate parking here. You got a small, maybe we can go to parking 155 if it's not taken. No, they're going to direct, or no, they're not going to direct us, so maybe we can see. I don't know. We'll see. And a bunch of parking to the left and to the right of the main building. Oh, we also got parking over here. Should we park to the left? Nah, we'll go to the right. Alright, we're looking at 7 minutes to land. We're sitting at 110 knots. We're going to have to bring that down to 85 knots so that we can deploy our... why can't I click over here? There you go. So that we can deploy our flaps. The wind speed is still sitting at 7, so 10 degree of flaps should be good. Start adjusting, going this way a touch. We are 6 miles out. We can airport sits at 2,600 feet. We're going to reduce our elevation here to about 3,600. Actually, we'll bring that down even more. We'll go 34.5. Our RPMs are a little high, so we're going to reduce our throttle. We're going to hit our approach line. So you got 2 runways here, one on the left, one on the right. That's runway number 29, L and R. So we're going to hit 29R. So we still got to deploy our flaps. We're going to turn on our landing lights and our taxi lights. Once we level out here, I'm going to reduce the throttle, get this thing down to 85 so that we can do our flaps. We're getting pretty close, so we're going to do that now. We're also going to turn off autopilot since we need to adjust and line up to the runway. And if we pull up, we'll be able to do that faster. Maybe we'll be landing without the flaps. Alright, we're pretty close here. Alright, flaps are done. We're going to increase the throttle since that introduces more drag. Get a steady hand going. Alright, wind shifted and is now at our back at 5 knots. So, a little tougher to land when you're going downwind. You can probably keep an eye out if they got a flag or not. Sometimes they do like a windsock to show pilots what direction the wind is going. We got plenty of runway here, so we're going to try to hit that down slope. Alright, reducing our throttle. Coming in very nice. Got a nice shadow off to our left that's a little distracting. We're just hovering over the ground.
We have touchdown.
Alright, that was a pretty nice landing.
Transport crew dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Alright, so we'll take the next taxiway here. Or maybe not this one. We'll take the next one. We'll get a closer look at the airport. Alright, so here's the main airport where the big boys are. And we'll go down to the other taxiway so that we can get a little look here. Out the window? Nah, not too much of a look. Here, we'll do this. So there's Tucson, Arizona International Airport. Few gates left. And we got some general parking down over here. So we'll find somebody who is ready to give us some direction here. So this is where the smaller planes kind of set up parking. We're keeping an eye out. We'll go down towards this guy over here. Alright, he's turning. I thought he wanted me to go the other way. just walking right up to it. You're gonna get cut up. Alright, so we got our parking brake. We will turn off the engine.
Stand by, pilot. Cargo
We'll
unloading.
turn off the alternator and the battery. Call that done, and NeoFly will give us our update here. So this is the home base as they do that. So this is the standard hangar, the large hangar. Thought they were going to say something. And that's the cabin. And then you do the lighting, the office, the maintenance, the fuel. So it should be interesting. We'll definitely get that going as soon as we bank up enough money. And in the meantime, I will...
Cargo removed from the aircraft. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, so in the meantime, I will hire 2 more pilots. And
Ready for engine start.
I will start renting out 2 other planes. Ooh, maybe we can rent out a CJ4. No, we cannot. That's $930,000. Never mind. Alright, so I appreciate you tuning in for episode number 4. We'll keep it going. We're currently on day 11. And we're going to build this thing up to... I don't know what. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us.